Welcome back, and welcome to the Reserve List Secret War that you didn't even know was happening. It's coming up next. Welcome back, MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you somehow found me out there in the wild west world of YouTube, well, thank you very much for checking out my content today. I do hope you enjoyed it. So today, our conversation is going to revolve around this secret war that's going on with Reserve List. Most people don't even realize they're part of the war, but there are many controlling stakeholders out there, all trying to get the same goal met. See, in a war, there's similar things. Land, fuel, oil, things you're after. In this case, everyone's after Reserve List. Now, if you're lucky enough to have allies in your corner and you're pooling resources to get that card, cool, great for you, way to go. Most people don't have an ally. They're sitting here watching my video, they're chilling out saying, yeah, man, just want to buy this particular card or that particular card, but the price gets out of reach. There's many reasons why cards get out of reach. There is. Many have been bought for years, way ahead of before this conversation ever became apparent. There's been multiple buyouts covering the last 10, 15 years of particular Magic cards. Usually it happened with the really high-end stuff. But that has kind of changed over the years where, second-tier cards, third-tier cards, fourth-tier cards, they start going down the list and slowly, like a monopoly, you start gaining control of that board. Somebody's already got Boardwalk and Park Place. They've already got Pennsylvania. They've already come around to Ventnor. So people are just trying to get Connecticut and Baltic at this point. We're just trying to stay in the game. And for me, I remember when this happened, early October, I started seeing some sales happen. I thought were a little bit odd. I tracked a few of them, saw how many were being sold, and then I started getting concerned. I realized that some of these things were kind of starting to jump up in price. Even back then, it was only like $1 or $2, but that seemed kind of erratic for a lower-end Reserve List card. And by November, I hadn't really done much on it, but I saw there were 7 or 8 cards, so I bought 1 or 2 small cards I needed just to make sure the price didn't jump beyond like $5, $6. It's fine. Were you paying attention to that at home? You may have seen it, you may not have. You may have noticed a couple of cards yourself. Well, there are people out there trying to buy those cards. Those are your opponents. You didn't even know what was happening. You just got that feeling a little bit. Now again, even this war will have an ending, and a new one will start. Eventually things settle. The dust settles. There are winners and losers. Losses are tabulated. And we go again. But every time we go again, that pool of resources, which is Magic cards in this case, gets a little bit smaller. And the losers, there's a little bit less of them. Because those of us who are holding on for a long time. Now, a lot of players fail to realize how long they need to hold on to actually come out ahead if you're trying to invest in the game. If you just want to play with some cards, that's what the game's about, to play. I like to play the game. I didn't go out and buy 50 copies of Copy Artifact when I found it cheap. No. I reported on it here, I bought a couple of copies for myself, and I told my patrons. That's what I did. I let them know what was going on, that this buyout was in progress. I told them where to get some cheap cards because I happened to notice it. If I didn't tell, somebody else would have found out and those cards would have been gone anyway. At least it went to a multitude of people this way. A whole bunch of players found out. A whole bunch of people on this channel found out. And over the weekend, they were all gone. That's what's happening. But it's happening en masse. Usually in a buyout, there's a few cards purchased. Specific cards are chosen. Gaia's Cradle would be one, right? But in this case, instead of being a small, singular, fine line shot, it is a scatter shot, going everywhere. And what's happening? We have people out there trying to get a controlling stake in a card. That is what is happening. They are trying to control a particular card, whatever that card may be. On this channel, we're joking about Savati Excavations all the time. Follow it, it's a gas. But let's be honest. We have what, maybe 100? 120 copies? But guess what? There are people out there who probably have just as much as all of us combined. But usually controlling stake cards are high-end cards. Very rare, hard to get cards. Those are the ones that usually get targeted. So what is happening? Why is this conversation happening this way right now as we're talking? Because it's not ending. This war is not settling down. Things are not leveling out. The pool's just running dry. All kinds of cards are being taken all over the place. And there is no clear end in sight. So every day I look in, I just see the pool getting a little bit drier. And I see resources exhausted a little bit more. But from what I'm getting in my emails, the conversations I'm having with people, it seems like most of the funds people are using are from alternate sources. Be that Bitcoin, other forms of currencies, maybe you did well in the stock market, and they are settling it in reserve list. Not everything here is a player, obviously, guys. Controlling stakeholders are taking more than just that. So the best thing you can do to stay ahead of curves like this and wars like this, that's right, avoid the chaos. Now, to avoid the chaos, of course, you need knowledge. It's the key to success. Do you like that? The key to success? You need to be aware of what you're up against. You're up against people with more money than you. You're up against people who've been at it longer than you. Think of the big YouTubers out there. Think of the big card stores who are trying to buy your stuff from you at 50 cents on the dollar when you have to sell. Getting a good price for your merchandise is hard. But right now, we're all holding. We're holding the line. We're not selling. I would love to see what LGSs do if they can't get hold of this product. It will be interesting. But in this war, they're your opponent. Whenever you sell a card to them, you are giving in to them. Because they're getting it at 50 cents on the dollar, 60, 70 cents in trade. Prices are set by whoever's willing to pay. So the longer people hold it, be curious to see who's going to pay the highest. Or will they hold too long and those people who wanted it, like us, give up and say, I'm never going to own it. Then the price stagnates, maybe even drops. When you show a lack of interest in your card, it may drop if there's enough people showing that lack of interest. But there's no guarantee that's going to happen. So in this war, to win, you need advice. You need good advice, bad advice, but you need advice. So, with good advice and bad advice, that will depend on who you're listening to. I offer advice every day to everyone on this channel. I tell you guys what I think. That does not make my advice absolute. I'm tracking a lot of cards. I can find out information for you just by emailing me the cards you want me to look up. If I'm tracking it, I will give you the info I have and how I think it's doing. Do I think certain cards will go up? Yep, I'll tell you guys right away from what I can tell because there's cards I know a lot about by this point. But there are just as many cards I'm not tracking. I'm not tracking the entire reserve list. So you need more advice than mine. You need to check different sources. I'm just one source of many. There are other YouTube channels that have this information too and different perspectives on it. So you don't just follow me. Look around and see who else is out there. Take a look at other channels for information. Form your own opinion. See what you think. But when you finally make a decision, you say, I'm going to get that card. That's the one I want. I've looked at the prices. This is a good price. Then you buy it if you have the funds. Do not put yourself in debt. Remember, I don't believe in debt to buy this game. You save up like I'm doing. You save for what you want. Don't do it on credit card. Don't do it on lines of credit, hoping you're going to flip it later. Build your investment naturally. Save up, buy the cards, put them aside if you're investing in it. But if you're going to go into this battle with borrowed gunpowder, you're not going to do well because the tab's going to be called in. You're going to lose. You're going to be the person who dumps it all back on the market. So be careful. This war can drain you financially. It can put burden and strain on you you're not even aware of yet. These prices are all over the place, but they're all headed up right now. They will settle. This will have a settling. I just don't know when it is. I haven't seen a slowdown enough of a stagnation in certain sales to say it's slowing down. So right now, it looks like people are just waiting for tax refund checks, Bitcoin payments to come in, stimulus payments to come in, because people are still buying. Because this product cannot really be tracked that well, can it? It's like Bitcoin. When you sell a collectible, it's harder to track. The government doesn't have tabs on you. So a lot of people are settling money here. This war is wide-ranging, and it's on a lot of people. And there will be casualties at the end. That's what I'm afraid of. I just hope it's not you out there in YouTube land, okay? So guys, please leave your questions, comments, concerns. Let me know what you're thinking. Email me if you want something more private. I am happy to help out. I will be there to listen, learn, and be there with you, all right? This is MTG Moxman. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, it's a secret war that maybe it's not so secret anymore. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy your evening, day, morning, night, wherever we're at. I click buttons now, things stop, nobody pays attention. And if you pay attention this far, say hail to the king, just so I know. Hey guys, big shout out to all my patrons out. Thank you again, guys. Remember, another wacky day, another awesomeness. Hail to the king. Army of Darkness rocks. Nachos and cheese is on the horizon. And before you know it, new magic sets will come.